After the first Cultivating Change Summit, a much smaller family gathering than this, we recognized that we needed additional allies to help us grow our work. And it really tied into Jennifer's message earlier about the need to bring on board corporate allies who would support our work, not only by attending, but also by helping fund the work that we're doing, because none of this is free. And one of the first corporations that came on board and said, "We are with you, we're going to support you," was US Bank. For our next Power Talk, I'm thrilled to welcome a representative of US Bank. Liesl Schmidt is the president of the Northern California US Banks, and we're so thrilled to have her and US Bank as allies for the Cultivating Change Summit.
Liesl is a piece to the puzzle. That is one of the many names I had growing up on the playground. So if you don't remember my name, Liesl is a piece to the puzzle. So my name's Liesl Schmidt, and I got lucky and married somebody with the last name Schmidt, so that just makes me sound like I'm German, but I probably am, but who knows. I'm a native Californian. I'm a farmer's daughter, a farmer's wife, and an accidental banker. And I don't know if you all know our CEO, Richard Davis, but I would say 90% of us in banking are accidental bankers. My brother and sister and I grew up on a ranch, and one of our favorite things to do was to go to work with our dad, probably to get us out of my mom's hair, but we loved every minute of it. I was driving a pickup from the time I was seeing over the steering wheel. I've hoed fields with my siblings, and per my dad, we did not do a very good job, but we tried anyways, and we did make him pay us. I have sorted tomatoes on tomato harvesters. I have cleaned shops in the dead of winter to get ready for the next year. So I've done it all on the farm. But growing up, we were told my brother would be the farmer. My sister and I were pre-positioned for this, and we didn't even consider going into agriculture. Well, for those of you that know me, somehow when somebody says you can't do something, I'm probably going to challenge you and do it. So I did the next best thing. I married a farmer. And I am a partner in an agricultural business. So, my dad is going to suffer for that. I don't do the day-to-day hard work, as my dad would like to say. So what I want to talk about today is, and I bank farmers too, so I get a lot of exposure to the ag community. And one of the things that we're seeing in the ag community is that the generations aren't flowing over. So in agriculture, only 30% of the families go transition from the first generation to the second generation. 10% transition from the second generation to the third generation, and only 4% transition to the fourth generation. The average production farmer is male, and he's 56 years old. The secondary operator, which you would think might be the son or the daughter, is 53 years old, and they're actually the wife of the primary operator. And the third principal on the farm is 48. So that's one generation. That's not multiple generations on the farm. So why is this? Farming is a fulfilling field. We're feeding the world. I mean, the world has to eat. So why would you not want to stay in that field? It's diverse. We grow a crop, but you're also a scientist. You are an engineer. You're a mechanic. You are a meteorologist. Not a very good one usually, but you are one. And you're a business person. So that seems like a field that pretty much anybody would want to go into. Well, I propose that it's due to succession planning. So a lot of people think of succession planning as estate planning. I have a will, the kids are gonna get the assets, we got the insurance policy for the daughters so the son can stay on the farm, et cetera, et cetera. But that's not actually the case. Succession planning is completely different. That is planning for who is gonna be the next leaders on your farm in your ag business, in your business. And I think that there are 4 components that farms can do, or ag-related businesses can do, to make sure that we can transition more of this from generation to generation. The first is socialize the farm. Make it something that everybody wants to go to, make it fun for everyone, and make it a place where everybody's opinion and everybody's thoughts are taken into consideration. If you're a small child, to the 20-year-old, to the 40-year-old. I mean, think about it. A lot of these guys are answering to their 70-year-old dad, and they're 40 years old. I mean, that's not fun. People don't want to do that. So first, socialize it and make it a part of the family. Next is awareness of our unconscious bias. I think this is probably the biggest one for me, and that is that we shouldn't pre-decide who's going to be a farmer. So just because somebody doesn't like to get dirty doesn't mean they can't be a farmer. If you have a son who's gay, that doesn't mean that he necessarily wants to live in the city. If you have a daughter, that doesn't mean that she doesn't want to be a farmer. So the principals need to become aware of this, and they need to uncover them, make them visible, and then we can deconstruct them. The 4th is accept change. And this is another one that I see a lot. Why is it that we can't do something different? I hear a lot from my dad, millennials want instant gratification. They are stuck behind their phone. Okay, great. Well, how can that help the farm? The more people that we bring together, you can find everybody's genius and come up with new ideas. And the last one is create a formalized succession plan. Make it transparent. Make it so that everybody on the farm is going to benefit, and so that the individual agendas aren't just being taken into account. And I think that this is where the families need to recognize that you do need to bring everybody to the table. This doesn't start from the top. It's an inclusive, thoughtful way of doing things. So what I would leave you with today, no matter what you're doing, whether it's farming, agriculture, think about the future. Everybody wants to be able to leave something behind that they are proud of, something that they feel confident about. So think about succession planning. Don't just think about estate planning. Thank you.
Liesl, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. I know that most farmers have a love-hate relationship with their banker, so I can imagine the inner dialogue going on in your head is crazy. Thank you so much for sharing your story and the powerful message about helping to make sure that farms stay in the family. Thank you.
Thank you.